Good day everyone. So we are on our week 7. So this will be our first topic para sa toang midterm. So we will be discussing money and financial system. So ato ang learning outcome for this topic. We have to determine the function, ang pag-create, and the banking of money in the monetary system. So first of all, let us answer this question. So, what is money? So, naatay tulo ka choices. First is A, the medium of exchange, and it comes in two forms, the paper and foil. B, the medium of exchange, and it comes in two forms, the coins and banknotes. Or C, the medium of coins and banknotes. So again, what is money? A, the medium of exchange, and it comes in two forms, the paper and foil. Or B, the medium of exchange, and it comes in two forms like the coins and banknotes. Or C, the medium of coins and banknotes. So 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So the answer for this is letter B, the medium of exchange, and it comes in two forms, the coins and banknotes. So class, most people kay gina-assume nila nga ang kwarta daw is just cash and coins. But technically, ang kwarta is anything nga magamit nato as a medium of exchange. So example of money, pwede siyang for example sa correctional facility or mas kilala nato sa as a prisohan or prison. Dito ang mga class, di ba, kay panagsara jud kaayo ka mahatdan sa imong family or sa imong relatives ug kwarta dito sometimes if dili pa jud ka dalawon dito sa prisuhan kay wala kay madawat nga kwarta or in some cases kay mga goods ang ato ang madawat from our family. So ang mahitabo dito class sa prisuhan kay mostly the barter trading or the barter system. So for example, mga sigarilyo, mga sardinas, mga dilata, or even kanang post stamp code nga dikit na to every time na magpadala ta og letter kay pwede siya mahimo as a medium of exchange. Dito kay valuable na kayo sa ilaha. For example, kauban nimo sa prisuhan kay nakakailangan sa iyahang items or sa iyahang goods na gihatag sa iyahang family. So, ang inyong buhaton ka mag-exchange mo og available nimo nga mga gamit para makuha tong gamit na gusto nimo dito sa imuhang kauban. And then another example of money is katong ginagamit or gigamit sa ancient na civilization. For example, dito sa Palau Island or sa Yap Island. Sa unang panahon pa manggod class, dili pa uso ning paper bills and coins. Ang ginagamit pa nila is mga bato, dagko nga bato. So the more nga dako nga bato or mas kilala, dili siya kanang typical nga bato na makita na nato sa dalan, pero ginapilian dyan po nila tong mga nindot na bato o ang tawag ani nila kay ray stones. So the more nga dako ang bato, mas dako ang kantidad ato nga na currency man gud to sa sa Yap Island and sa Palau. And then para nagready ko sa inyo og video para mabalaan nato kung saan ning ray stones na ginagamit dati sa ancient civilization. So let us proceed to the video.
What is money? Do you think of gold, silver, coins, banknotes, Maybe credit cards. What if I told you money doesn't have to be any of those things? Hundreds of years ago, explorers from Yap, a tiny island in the South Pacific, found limestone deposits on the Palau archipelago, hundreds of miles away. The Yap Islanders mined the limestone into huge stone discs that looked like donuts, and brought them back to Yap on small bamboo boats. There is evidence that some limestone has been mined in Palau by Yapese as early as 500 AD, but more widespread mining started around 1000 to 1400 AD. Local legend holds that the Yapese discovered the rock about 500 to 600 years ago when an expedition led by a man called Anagumang landed on Palau. When first discovered, he ordered his men to cut the stone into the shape of fish, but eventually a circular shape was chosen, probably because it was easier to transport. A bamboo pole was put through the hole in the center of the stone so that laborers could more easily carry it. As the Yap community developed, there came a time when the people realized they needed something to use to pay for goods. Limestone was non-existent in Yap and therefore valuable, so the stones they were bringing home were chosen as a form of currency. Their money, known as rei, could be as little as 1.4 inches or as large as 12 feet around. The largest of the discs probably needed hundreds of men to transport. One thing to understand about this money is that it was really heavy. A big piece could weigh more than a car. While we're used to handing paper bills and change to each other to make our purchases, these stones would typically never change hands at all. For example, imagine a large rei sitting in a village. One person gives it to another person in exchange for something, but the stone doesn't move. However, everybody in the village knows the stone now belongs to someone else. The monetary system of Yap relied on an oral history of ownership. As long as a transaction was recorded in that oral history, no physical movement of the stone was required. In one instance, a large rei being transported back to Yap was dropped during a storm and sank to the seafloor. Although it was never seen again, everyone agreed that it must still be there, so it continued to be transacted as genuine currency. The value of a stone was based on not only its size and craftsmanship, but also its history. If many people, or no one at all, died when the specific stone was transported, or a famous sailor brought it in, the value of the rei stone increased by anecdotal heft. They were also used in important social transactions, rather than everyday purchases, such as marriage, inheritance, political deals, alliances, ransom of the dead in battle, or, less often, in exchange for food. The American Numismatic Association Money Museum is home to a small collection of Yap stones. The largest is 38 inches in diameter and weighs 90 pounds. It was donated by Aubrey and Adeline Beebe in 1989. Although modern currency has replaced the stones as their currency, the rei stones are still exchanged in traditional ways between the Yapese. They are a national symbol and are even depicted on their local license plates. So now, when you take time to consider what money is, think of the Yapese and their limestone currency. Money really is anything that's exchanged for a good or service, not necessarily something we're used to, like gold and silver.
Alright, so that is the history of the ancient civilization nga currency. So they use limestone, i-mold nila into a circular nga kuan nga design, and kuan transaction type ang ilahang gamit as long as it is naa sa ilang history of katong giingon kaganya nga oral history nila para mag para magkaroon og approval sa ilahang transaction nga nagkaroon og change of ownership ang ilahang currency. Ayan. So dili lang bills, dili lang coins, cash badra or paper cash ang medium na pwede na to gamiton as an exchange. Kay as you can see, dito mao to siya ang pinakaluma nga kuano or sinaunang type of or the medium of exchange nila. So let us proceed sa ato ang next nga topic. So nanatay uh, gamay nga debriefing sa ato ang magiging discussion for today. So, ngano kaya anto kailangan mo gamit og cash and coins? So, as you can remember dito sa video no or even dito sa tong introductory part, I hope ma-answeran ninyo ni siya nga question. Why do we use cash and coins karon nga panahon? A. Involves issues from the double coincidence of wants. B. Easy to counterfeit. Or C. It is easy to carry around. So again, ngano kaya na to kailangan mo gamit og cash and coins sa modern days or modern times? A. Involves issues from the double coincidence of wants. B. Easy to counterfeit. Or C. It is easy to carry around. So 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Alright, so the answer here is it is easy to carry around, or the letter C. So class, in our society manggod, cash and coins are often used because of the following reasons. First, it is easy to carry around. Mas na siya, accessible na siya. Dili na nato kailangan magkarga og mga bato nga kasing bugat sa sakyanan or kasing bugat nato in size. And dili na nato kailangan og help sa iba para kargahon ang ato ang kwarta. And second, physically durable. And pangatlo, hard to counterfeit. O diba? Easy na karon ang ato ang currency bitbiton. Pwede na nato itago sa ato ang bulsa, sa ato ang pitaka, sa asa ba nato nagamit, kaysa sa kani nga bato ang ato ang bitbiton. Then oral lang ang ato ang transactions. So what makes these pieces of paper and metal so valuable? According to Milton Friedman, the pieces of green paper have value because everyone thinks they have value. Okay? As according daw kay Milton, ang kaning mga pieces of green paper have value for the reason nga ang mindset sa mga tao kay naa siya value. So this means that as long as groups of individuals kay makakita sila og value sa isa ka particular nga item and it is traded, then it is considered na siya as money. So, function of money. Money mainly serves as the medium of exchange. So, we use it primarily to store value and use the value if it is needed. So, as what we have mentioned before this topic, we use cash and coin kay tungod sa katong three main physical features, which makes it ideal to store value. So, imagine using other item as a medium of exchange. For example, ang imuhang gigamit class nga medium of exchange kay prutas. So, fruit as a medium of exchange would be a terrible idea. Ngano kaha? Why do you think na terrible idea ang prutas na gamiton as a medium of exchange? Because class, it does not hold a value long since it will decay in just few days. Mabulok dayon siya in just few days. Dili siya mudugay. 'Di ba? We can see a value on a thing or on a item if pwede na to siya gamiton for a long term. Dili kanang long term nimo siya magamit, dili basta-basta maguba. Durable siya kumbaga, matibay kumbaga. So, creation of money. Diri sa Pilipinas, ang Bangko Sentral or the BSP ang source nato for the Philippine peso currency. But class, ang BSP does not simply magprint lang ki-print og kwarta, since ang kwarta manggod is in the circulation. Dapat balanse siya. Okay? Balanse siya sa iyahang or in terms sa iyahang value. So, money also follows the law of supply. So, I hope class ma-remember pa ninyo kung unsa tong law of supply sa ato ang prelim na discussion. So, 'di ba class, ang law of supply states that the higher the supply, the lower its price. Or in this case sa to ang discussion for today, kay mag-lower ang iyahang value. So, kung modaghan ang supply sa kwarta, mo lower na ang value sa tuang money. So, monetary system. Unsa kaha ning monetary system? So, kaning monetary system, it plays a huge role in our economy since it directly contributes to the quantity and also sa value sa tuang kwarta. So, the monetary system, nag-refer ni siya to a set of institutions that provide a supportive nga framework for the creation of money in an economy by our government. So, there are three types of monetary system. Okay? First na type of monetary system, commodity money. We also have commodity-based money. And ang pinaka-common type of monetary system is the fiat monetary. FIAT. Fiat monetary. So, if we say commodity money, ang perfect example ani kay gold and silver na coins. So, dili naman na siya naga-exist karon sa to kaning commodity type of money. Next is the commodity-based money. So, this is a type of currencies that are most likely physical banknotes ni siya with no financial na value, pero pwede na to siya gamiton as an exchange with the precious na mga metals like the gold and silver. And the fiat money is the paper currencies and the metal coins that we are currently using. Okay, so this is the coins and bills na ginagamit nato is a perfect example of the fiat money. Alright, so the financial system. Financial system, it dictates the flow of money after it is created. It flows through the participant of financial system. Kinsa-kinsa kaya ning participants sa financial system. So, first is the lenders. Si lenders, they are the individual nga nagaprovide og kwarta or nagapahiram og kwarta. While kaning mga borrowers, these are the individuals who borrows money for different kind of reasons. So, sila tong mga nagahiram og kwarta kay lenders or nagautang kay lenders. So, there are three common ways where lenders and borrowers interact in a formal setting. So, first is the banks. Then, we also have the stock exchange. And lastly is the bond markets. So, let us further discuss these three common ways. So, first is the banks. Banks is the most common way of interaction between participants. Then, banks are the first in line na makareceive og kwarta gikan sa BSP or if ever na maka-create dayon og new money kay sila ang first hand na makadawat ingatong nga kwarta. As long again, ang bangko ang pinaka first nga makadawat sa kwarta na gihimo ni BSP or ni Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. So, it borrows from the central bank and ang mga depositor, they lend it to the other borrower. So, para masabtan nato og taman, so this is the illustration of the transaction na mahitabo sa bangko. So, si lender, siya ning depositor, then ang intermediary kay si bank, padulong kay borrower. So, si depositor, if ever na nag-deposit mo or naamoy kaugalingon ninyong kuan, ATM ba, or kuan passbook. So, if you are the depositor, you will lend money padulong kay bank. Kay di ba i-deposit man nimo ang kwarta sa bangko. So, mahitabo karon katong imuhang i-deposit na kwarta kay bangko, kay ipa-loan niya sa mga borrower. So, karon kay nag-loan man si borrower, di ba naamay interest na ginapatong si bangko. So, karon pagbayad ni borrower, naanay interest tong kwarta padulong kay bangko. Then, syempre, dako tong interest na ginapatong nila kay borrower. Then, katong interest nga sobra nga ilahang na kolekta kay borrower kay ibayad sad sa interest sa inyohang deposit depende sa terms and agreement kung pila ang interest na ihatag sa inyo sa inyohang gi-deposit sa bangko. Then we also have the bonds market. So, bonds are issued by a government or huge corporation to fund its project or investment. So, kaning picture na makita ninyo karon sa inyohang screens, kay mao ni siya ang example sa bonds. So, bonds market just like sa bank deals no kay kuan naga-focus sila on the debt or the utang na aspect. So bonds are issued by a government or huge na mga corporation para it's either gamiton nila para mag-fund og mga project or even investment. So bonds is basically an utang with an agreement which states the maturity, ang interest rate, and also the principal amount. So if you are a bond holder, it is either you hold to maturity or sell the bond in the bond market. So this is the transaction sa bond market. So, si borrower or si issuer of bond, it's either gikan ba sa gobyerno or sa isa ka dako nga corporation padulong kay lender or seller sa bond. Then, after that, if it's either kung lender ka or seller ka sa bond, kay magkaroon ng exchange between sa buyer of bond. Then, balik na pod yung transaction from the lender or seller of bond, pabalik sa government or sa issuer mismo sa bond. So, ingana lang Japan ng iyahan transaction, no? Nakakuan siya. Circular form ni siya, nga pabalik-balik lang ang kuan transactions. Depende kung kinsa ang seller, kinsa ang buyer. Then, ang ending ana kay padulong Japan dito sa nag-issue sa bond. Again, it's either government or sa large corporation. Then, sa stocks, Stocks can be purchased from a corporation who undergo initial public offer. I'm not sure if naadiri as atua ang familiar with the magdula sa stock exchange or sa stock market. Naani siya kuan class, naani siya online nga free lang na magdula og mga stock market kay para makabalo ta mag-invest on the stocks. That is just a kuan lang, free nga trial nga online. Um, Next kay iyahang transaction type, same with the process sa banks, dito sa bonds, same lang sila. Pabalik-balik lang ang ilahang kuan. So, from the issuer of stock corporation, padulong kay investor or the seller of the stock, then, syempre, pag sell niya siyang stock, naa siya'y buyer of stock. Then, after that, katong stock na iyahang i-exchange kay mobalik na siya as money, then syempre as an investor ang ibalik sa nimo kay company kay ang money na nadawat nimo from the buyer of stock. So bank versus sa sa bond and the stock market, bonds and stock market. So, class, banks are part of what we called financial institutions. Financial institutions are establishments rather that conducts financial transaction such as mga pag-invest nato, pag mag-loan ta, and even pag-deposit na to sa tuang kwarta. While ang bonds and stock markets, they are part of financial markets, which are place where financial assets are traded or ginadula nato sa market or gina-investa nato sa market. So that is all our discussion for today. So if you have questions, clarifications, you may ask now. So thank you for listening and have a great day, everyone. God bless.